The chamber of the United Galactic Council stretched upward in a vast dome, its walls adorned with symbols from 1,000 worlds. Light filtered through crystalline panels, casting rainbow patterns across the floor. This was the heart of galactic civilization, where species from across the stars came together in peace and cooperation. Today, the chamber held its breath. Ambassador Ta Kim stood at the entrance, the first human to ever step foot in this hallowed place. He was tall for a human, with broad shoulders and a diplomatic smile that hid his nervousness. His blue formal suit, embroidered with Earth's new interstellar emblem, had been designed specifically for this moment. Behind him stood 3 aides, each carrying gifts from Earth, samples of art, music, and scientific achievements. "The representative from Earth may approach," announced the council speaker, a being of shimmering light contained within a transparent shell. Kim walked forward, his footsteps echoing. The council representatives watched from their various seating arrangements, some floating in anti-gravity fields, others resting in pools of liquid, and many seated in conventional chairs adapted to their unique physiologies. Kim had studied each species for months, but seeing them all at once was overwhelming. "Esteemed members of the United Galactic Council," Kim began, his voice steady despite his racing heart. "I bring greetings from Earth and all humanity. We come seeking peaceful relations and the opportunity to join this ancient and honored community of worlds." Murmurs rippled through the chamber. Most were curious, even welcoming. Humans were newcomers to faster-than-light travel, having only discovered the principles 5 Earth years ago. Many council members found the rapid progress of humanity fascinating. But not all reactions were positive. In the section reserved for the Stellar Dominion, Admiral Pack watched with cold eyes. The Dominion was a collection of warrior worlds that had reluctantly joined the Council centuries ago. They valued strength above all else and viewed new species with suspicion. "Look at their technology signatures," Pack whispered to his aide, a muscular being with scaled skin. "The metals in their uniforms, the communication devices they carry. These match capabilities far beyond what our intelligence suggested." His aide nodded. "Perhaps they have been hiding their true development stage." "Deception," Pack hissed. "These humans show weapons capability beyond their supposed development stage. No species progresses from planetary travel to functional warp drives in less than 50 cycles without outside help." Kim continued his presentation, unaware of the dangerous thoughts brewing in the Dominion section. He showed holographic images of Earth, its oceans and mountains, its cities and farms. He spoke of human achievements in medicine, art, and science. He extended formal requests for trade agreements and cultural exchanges. Many council members nodded appreciatively. The representative from the collective minds, a hive intelligence that valued diversity of thought, floated forward. "We welcome Earth's unique perspective," they hummed in a multi-tone voice. "Your species has developed differently than many of us. This brings new ideas, new ways of solving problems." The council session continued for hours. Questions were asked and answered. Preliminary agreements were discussed. By the time it ended, many representatives had approached Kim personally, expressing interest in human culture and technology. But Admiral Pack and his delegation remained distant, watching and calculating. Night fell on the council world. Ambassador Kim and his team boarded their diplomatic shuttle, tired but pleased with the day's progress. "That went better than expected," said his chief aide, Shunho, as they prepared for departure. Kim nodded. Most species seemed genuinely interested in cultural exchange. The collective minds already proposed a joint research initiative. Not everyone was friendly, noted Lieutenant Lee, their security officer. She was small in stature, but moved with the confidence of extensive military training. "The Dominion delegation watched us like hawks. They're cautious by nature," Kim replied. "Give them time." Their shuttle lifted off, its sleek white hull catching the light of 3 moons. It was a beautiful vessel, designed to showcase human engineering while appearing non-threatening. Unarmed, it relied on Council security protocols for protection. That protection failed. As they reached the edge of the atmosphere, warning alarms blared through the cabin. Multiple ships approaching. Lee shouted, rushing to the sensor panel. Dominion signatures. Before Kim could respond, the first energy blast struck their hull. The shuttle shuddered violently. "This is Earth diplomatic vessel requesting emergency assistance." Shunho called into the communication system. "We are under attack." "Repeat, we are under attack." Only static answered. 3 Dominion warships surrounded them, sleek predators with forward-swept wings. Their weapons charged again. "They're jamming our communications," Lee reported, her voice tense but controlled. "Shields failing." Ambassador Kim gripped his chair as another blast rocked the shuttle. "Why are they doing this? We came in peace." The next shot tore through their engine compartment. Warning lights flashed across every control panel. The shuttle began to spin, breaking apart under the assault. "Escape pods." Lee shouted above the screaming alarms. Now, Kim helped his injured aides toward the pods, but another direct hit sent him flying across the cabin. Pain exploded in his chest as he slammed into a bulkhead. Lee grabbed him, pulling him toward the last functioning escape pod. "Ambassador, you have to go." "Not without everyone," Kim gasped, blood trickling from his mouth. "The others are already gone," she said, though whether in pods or dead, she didn't say. Someone must reach Earth. With sudden clarity, the ship was humanity's masterpiece, built in secret after the unprovoked attack on Earth's diplomatic mission. The Nemesis represented everything humans could achieve when united by purpose. Its hull gleamed with dark composite armor that absorbed rather than reflected light, making it nearly invisible against the backdrop of space. "Captain, we're approaching the Orient sector border," said Lieutenant Min, the navigator. Her fingers moved across the holographic controls with practiced precision. Captain Sue nodded. "Take us to half speed. We don't want to announce ourselves with a weak signature." The massive engines of the Nemesis responded instantly, their power dampened to a whisper. The ship was designed for stealth above all else. Its energy systems were internally shielded, and its exterior could change temperature to match the surrounding space. "Stealth systems nominal," reported Commander Park from her station. Her short hair framed a face that rarely showed emotion. "We're invisible to all known detection methods." Sue walked to the main view screen, which displayed the star field ahead. The Nemesis was traveling through the outer territories of the United Galactic Council, gathering intelligence before making their presence known. After the destruction of the diplomatic mission, Earth had intercepted enough alien communications to understand the basics of galactic politics. "Any signs of patrol vessels?" Sue asked. 2 Dominion cruisers at coordinates 227 Mark 39, replied Tactical Officer Yoon. "They're conducting standard patrol routes. They have no idea we're here." The bridge crew shared knowing looks. The aliens who had attacked Earth's ambassador believed humans were primitive newcomers to space travel. The Dominion had judged Earth as weak, assuming that humans could not possibly respond to their attack in any meaningful way. They were wrong. Commander Park approached Captain Sue with a data tablet. "Sir, Dr. Han has completed her analysis of the intercepted communications." Sue took the tablet, reviewing the information with interest. "Have her come to the bridge." Minutes later, Dr. Han arrived. She was older than most of the crew, with streaks of gray in her black hair and eyes that missed nothing. "Captain," she greeted him, "I've compiled a thorough breakdown of Dominion military protocols based on their communications. They're overconfident and underprepared." "Explain," Sue said, offering her the center of the bridge. Dr. Han activated the main tactical display. The Dominion and other Council races have evolved in environments with lower gravity than Earth. Their physiology cannot withstand high G-forces. As a result, their ships maneuver slowly to protect their crews. She displayed comparisons between Dominion ship capabilities and the Nemesis. The differences were striking. While other species struggle with acceleration forces, humans can withstand significantly higher G-forces. The Nemesis was designed around this strength, We can execute turns and accelerations that would kill most alien pilots. Captain Sue nodded thoughtfully. And our weapon systems? Superior in every way, Dr. Han said. Our targeting computers operate at speeds their systems cannot match. Their shields are designed to repel energy weapons similar to their own. They've never encountered our particular configurations. The information confirmed what Earth's leaders had hoped. Humanity's isolation had led to different technological paths. What seemed basic to humans was revolutionary to the galactic community. They think we're primitive, Dr. Han observed, reviewing intercepted communications. They have no idea what's coming. Across the bridge, the crew continued their silent work with renewed determination. Each had been personally selected by Captain Sue. The best pilots, engineers, scientists, and soldiers Earth had to offer. Many had lost friends or family in the escalating tensions with alien species. All were committed to ensuring that humanity would never be viewed as easy prey again. Commander Park approached the captain with fresh reports. Sir, we've detected a Dominion outpost on the 4th planet of this system. It appears to be a listening post. Perfect, Sue said. Bring us in closer. We need to test our stealth capabilities against active scanning. The Nemesis moved silently toward the outpost, sliding through space like a shark through dark water. On the tactical display, the crew watched as the outpost's scanning beams passed directly over their position without registering their presence. They can't see us, whispered Lieutenant Min, almost in awe. Captain Sue allowed himself a small smile. Record everything. Their scanning frequencies, their communication protocols, their shift changes. We'll need it all. For the next 12 hours, the Nemesis shadowed the outpost, collecting data without being detected. The crew worked in efficient silence, each performing their role with precision. They were making history, the first humans to successfully infiltrate alien territory. As they prepared to move on, Officer Yoon suddenly straightened at his console. Captain, the outpost is receiving a transmission. High priority from Dominion Command. Let's hear it, Sue ordered. The transmission played through the bridge speakers. The alien language had been translated by Earth's computers based on intercepted communications. All outposts on high alert. Council Diplomatic Summit scheduled for planetary rotation 423. All military vessels to maintain positions. Repeat, no unauthorized movement near Council space. Captain Sue and Commander Park exchanged glances. This was valuable intelligence. A diplomatic summit, Park said quietly. All the council races in one place, including the Dominion leadership who ordered the attack on our people, added Sue. He turned to the navigation station. Lieutenant Min, plot a course to these coordinates. We need to arrive before the summit begins. The Nemesis altered course, its powerful engines barely making a ripple in space. As they accelerated, Captain Sue gazed at the stars on the view screen. The United Galactic Council had existed for thousands of years. Species joined, trading and sharing knowledge, protected by ancient laws and traditions. And yet they had attacked Earth without provocation or warning. They believe we're alone, Sue said to Commander Park as they reviewed the mission parameters. They think we're isolated, primitive newcomers who stumbled into space. They attacked us because they thought we were weak. A common mistake throughout human history, Park replied, underestimating us. In the ship's laboratory, Dr. Han and her team studied the biological data they had gathered on the various alien species. The information would be crucial for their upcoming mission. Their response times are slower, she noted to her assistant. Their decision-making processes more deliberate. They haven't evolved as predators the way humans did. The Nemesis continued its silent journey through enemy territory, gathering intelligence with each passing day. The crew functioned as a perfect unit, their training and natural human adaptability making them formidable despite their inexperience with alien environments. Captain Sue stood watch on the bridge, his resolve unwavering. The Nemesis carried more than weapons and technology. It carried humanity's message to the stars. We are not to be trifled with. We will not be victims. And soon, The galaxy would learn exactly what that meant. The grand hall of the Galactic Summit glittered with light reflecting off ornate decorations from 200 worlds. Delegates of all shapes and sizes moved through the space station's main chamber. Some floated on anti-gravity disks, others slithered across specialized pathways, while many walked on legs of various numbers and designs. The air was filled with translation devices converting the hundreds of languages being spoken. Admiral Pack of the Stellar Dominion stood tall among his delegation, his scaled skin shimmering under the lights. He watched with satisfaction as species from across the galaxy engaged in their pointless talks. The Dominion had grown stronger since eliminating the human threat months ago. No one had heard from Earth since their pathetic diplomatic vessel had been destroyed. The trade agreement between the Regellian Compact and the Vega Coalition will now be presented, announced the council speaker, a being of pure energy contained in a transparent shell. High above the space station, in the darkness of space, something changed. A patch of stars disappeared. The HSS Nemesis dropped its stealth field. The massive human battleship seemed to materialize from nothing, its dark hull absorbing nearby light. At over 1 kilometer long, it dwarfed the defensive vessels patrolling the station. Inside the station, the first warning was a power fluctuation. The lights dimmed momentarily. Then emergency alarms blared, their harsh sound cutting through all conversations. "Unknown vessel detected," came the announcement. "All delegates please remain calm." On every screen, wall display, and personal device throughout the station, the same image appeared: a human male with stern features and a crisp dark uniform. "I am Captain Jun Su of the Earth vessel SS Nemesis," he stated, his voice calm but firm. "6 months ago, you attacked our diplomatic mission unprovoked. We have come for justice." The station erupted in chaos. Delegates rushed to contact their homeworlds. Security forces scrambled to defensive positions. The council elders gathered in emergency session. Admiral Pack stood frozen, his yellow eyes wide with disbelief. "Impossible," he hissed. "We destroyed them all." Outside, the Dominion flagship Pride of Conquest moved to intercept the human vessel. It was the most advanced warship in the Dominion fleet, heavily armed and shielded. Captain Su watched it approach on the Nemesis's main view screen. "Target their main propulsion system," he ordered. "Precision strike only." "Target locked," confirmed Lieutenant Choi, a compact woman whose fingers danced across the weapons console with incredible speed. "Fire." A single beam of concentrated energy lanced out from the Nemesis. It slipped through the Pride's shields as if they weren't there, striking exactly at the junction of the flagship's main engine assembly. The massive Dominion vessel immediately lost power to its engines, beginning a slow, helpless drift. Inside the station, everyone watched on the emergency channels as the supposedly invincible Dominion flagship was disabled with a single shot. "Impossible," whispered Admiral Pack, watching his vessel drift helplessly. "Their targeting systems shouldn't exist at their technological level." The council's head elder, an ancient being from one of the founding worlds, approached the main communication array. "Captain Su of Earth, this is Elder Mox of the United Galactic Council. We request peaceful dialogue regarding your grievance." Captain Su's image on the screens nodded slightly. "I am prepared to meet with the council. However, the Stellar Dominion must answer for its unprovoked attack on our diplomatic vessel." Admiral Pack pushed forward. "We do not bow to primitives." The Dominion acknowledges no wrongdoing. His aides tried to quiet him, but he shoved them aside. "Your ship may have surprised us, but the full might of the Dominion fleet will crush you." As if on cue, 12 more Dominion warships dropped out of faster-than-light travel, surrounding the Nemesis. They had been stationed nearby as security for the summit. Captain Su's expression didn't change. "Admiral Pack, you have one opportunity to stand down and face judgment for your actions. Attack." Pack ordered. "Destroy the human vessel." What followed wasn't a battle but a demonstration. The Nemesis moved with impossible speed, executing maneuvers that defied the understanding of the watching aliens. Its point defense systems activated, creating a web of intercepting fire that neutralized incoming projectiles with perfect accuracy. On the bridge of the Nemesis, Captain Sue remained standing calmly at the center. Around him, his crew worked with practiced efficiency. "Disable engines and weapons only," Captain Sue ordered. "No unnecessary casualties." Lieutenant Choi nodded, her eyes never leaving her tactical display. Target solutions complete. Executing precision strikes. The Nemesis's weapons fired in a coordinated pattern. Each shot struck exactly where intended. One by one, the Dominion vessels lost power to engines, weapons, or both. Some spun helplessly. Others drifted with emergency lights blinking. Inside the station, the delegates watched in stunned silence. The Dominion fleet, known throughout the galaxy for its fighting prowess, was being systematically neutralized without a single destruction or casualty. "They're not even trying to destroy the ships," whispered a representative from the collective minds. "They're just disabling them." Elder Mock studied the tactical display with ancient eyes. "Look at the precision of those strikes. They're hitting exactly the right systems with minimal damage to surrounding structures." "They could destroy us all," murmured another council elder, "yet they choose restraint." Admiral Pack watched in growing horror as his mighty fleet was reduced to powerless hulks. 3 Dominion ships, seeing the futility of the fight, turned and fled at maximum speed. The Nemesis let them go. The message was clear: humanity would not be trifled with again. The battle, if it could be called that, lasted less than 10 minutes. When it was done, 9 Dominion warships floated disabled but intact around the Nemesis. Captain Sue's image reappeared on the screens. "The Stellar Dominion has now been given a demonstration of Earth's capabilities. We could have destroyed your vessels and killed your crews. Instead, we chose to show mercy." Elder Mock stepped forward again. "Captain Sue, the Council requests your presence to discuss terms. We acknowledge that a grave injustice was committed against your people." "I will transport to the station with a small security detail," Sue replied. "I expect Admiral Pack to be present." Hours later, Captain Sue walked into the council chamber flanked by 4 human security officers. The delegates fell silent as the humans entered. Many had never seen humans before, and studied them with new respect and fear. Admiral Pack stood with his remaining officers, his posture stiff with rage and humiliation. "This changes nothing," he growled. "One ship doesn't make your species our equal." Captain Sue approached him directly. Though the Admiral was taller and broader, something in the human's eyes made Pack take a step back. "We didn't bring one ship," Sue said quietly. "We brought one ship that you could see." The implication sent a chill through the chamber. How many more human vessels might be out there, invisible to detection? Elder Mox called the emergency session to order. "Captain Sue, please present Earth's grievances and demands to the Council." Sue stepped to the center of the chamber. 6 months ago, Earth sent Ambassador Kim and his team to establish peaceful relations with the United Galactic Council. The Stellar Dominion, without provocation or warning, destroyed our unarmed diplomatic vessel. He activated a small device that projected recordings from the soul's surviving escape pod. The council members watched in silence as the attack unfolded. The unprovoked destruction of the human shuttle was unmistakable. "Earth demands the following," Sue continued. "First, a formal acknowledgement of wrongdoing by the Stellar Dominion. Second, those responsible held accountable according to council law. Third, reparations for the families of our dead. Fourth, Earth's immediate acceptance into the United Galactic Council with full member status." Admiral Pack snarled. "The Dominion will never." "The Dominion will comply," interrupted a new voice. An older Dominion official had entered the chamber. "I am High Commander Du, Supreme Authority of the Stellar Dominion." Admiral Pack acted without authorization when he ordered the attack on the human vessel. The chamber erupted in murmurs. High Commander Du was rarely seen outside Dominion space. "We witnessed Earth's response today," the High Commander continued. "They could have destroyed our ships. Instead, they disabled them with surgical precision, ensuring no loss of life. This is not the action of a primitive species, but of an advanced civilization with honor. Admiral Pack's face contorted in rage, but two Dominion guards moved to flank him. High Commander Du bowed formally to Captain Sue. The Stellar Dominion acknowledges its wrongdoing and will meet all demands. Admiral Pack will face justice for his unauthorized actions. The Council voted unanimously to accept Earth into the United Galactic Council. As the session ended, Elder Mox approached Captain Sue privately. "You've changed the balance of power in the galaxy today," the Elder said. "Many will fear you." Sue nodded. "Fear can be the beginning of respect. In time, they will learn that humanity desires peace, but will never again be victimized." Outside the station, the HSS Nemesis maintained its position, a silent sentinel of Earth's new place in the galactic order. 3 months after the dramatic confrontation at the Galactic Summit, representatives from every major world gathered on the Council homeworld of Nexus. The great amphitheater, carved from a single massive crystal, glittered under the light of 2 suns. Delegates from 200 species filled the space, their diverse forms creating a living tapestry of galactic life. At the center of the chamber stood a circular table where the final documents would be signed. The HSS Nemesis hung visible in the sky above, its dark hull no longer hidden by stealth technology. The human battleship had become both a symbol of fear and hope. Captain Sue entered the chamber wearing a new formal uniform that combined traditional Earth military styling with elements honoring the Council. Behind him came Earth's new ambassador team, led by a woman who had helped design the Nemesis's weapons systems, but now carried symbols of peace. Admiral Pack, stripped of most military authority, but still representing the Stellar Dominion, waited at the signing table. His once proud posture was now stiff with formal restraint. Beside him stood High Commander Du, who had taken personal responsibility for overseeing the Dominion's compliance. "Today marks a historic occasion," announced Elder Mox, the ancient being's voice carrying throughout the chamber. "Earth joins the United Galactic Council as our newest member." Captain Sue stepped forward to the table. His face remained serious, but there was a softness in his eyes that hadn't been there during the confrontation months earlier. "Humanity accepts the Dominion's formal apology and reparations," Captain Sue announced as Admiral Pack signed the peace accord. "We look forward to a future of cooperation rather than conflict." The documents were marked with various signifiers: human signatures, Dominion claw marks, light patterns from energy beings, and chemical markers from species without physical appendages. When completed, the chamber erupted in sounds of approval from dozens of species. Later that evening, at the formal reception, Captain Sue stood by a vast window overlooking the glittering capital city. Elder Mox floated nearby in a containment field that allowed the energy being to exist comfortably in the oxygen atmosphere. "Your species has surprised us all," Elder Mox said. "Many feared you would demand more severe punishments." Sue watched the city lights below. "Revenge wasn't our goal. Security was. Now that we have it, we can focus on being good neighbors." "Many still fear you," Mox noted. "That will change with time," Sue replied. "Fear can transform into something better when given the chance." In the weeks that followed, the galaxy began to learn more about humanity beyond their formidable battleship. Earth opened cultural centers on major worlds. Human artists shared their works, causing sensation among alien critics who found the emotional range fascinating. Human medical techniques, evolved to deal with Earth's unique bacterial and viral challenges, offered new approaches to healing across species barriers. On a Dominion training world, a strange sight greeted the morning. Human instructors working alongside Dominion veterans. Young Officer Jin, barely 30 Earth years old, stood before a mixed class of human and alien cadets. "Today we begin joint training exercises," she announced, her voice clear and confident. "Humans and Dominion forces will learn to work together rather than against each other." A young Dominion officer raised his hand. "Why should we train with humans? Your ships can defeat ours." Jin smiled. Because together, we're stronger than either of us alone. Humans have speed and quick decision-making. Your people have endurance and centuries of experience. Combined, we create something new. The training exercises began awkwardly, with both sides hesitant and suspicious. By the end of the first week, however, something had changed. The Dominion trainees watched in amazement as humans demonstrated their quick reflexes and adaptive thinking. The humans, in turn, gained respect for the Dominion's disciplined approach and strategic depth. "They're not so different from us," one Dominion cadet remarked to his squad mate. "Fierce in battle, but fair in victory." On Earth, the changes were equally profound. Alien students arrived at universities, eager to learn human sciences and arts. Streets that had never seen non-human life now featured visitors from across the galaxy. Humans, always curious, embraced the opportunity to learn about their new galactic neighbors. 6 months after Earth joined the Council, a new initiative was announced. The Nemesis, once a weapon of war, would become the flagship of a joint peacekeeping force. Captain Sue would command, but the crew would include members from 12 species, including the Dominion. The day the new crew boarded, Sue stood in the docking bay, watching as aliens of various forms took their first steps onto a human vessel as colleagues rather than enemies. "Welcome aboard," he greeted them. "Together, we begin something unprecedented." A tall Dominion officer stepped forward and saluted in the human style, though it clearly felt awkward to him. "Lieutenant Cav reporting for tactical duties, sir." Sue returned the salute. "Your service record is impressive, Lieutenant. Your expertise will be valuable." The integration wasn't without challenges. Quarters had to be modified for different atmospheric needs. The mess hall needed to provide suitable nutrition for diverse biologies. Communication systems required constant translation updates. Yet day by day, the impossible became routine. Human engineers worked alongside collective minds technicians. Dominion tactical officers shared duty stations with humans who had once been their enemies. New friendships formed across species boundaries that had seemed insurmountable. On the first anniversary of Earth joining the Council, a galactic peace summit was held on Earth's moon. The Great Dome of Luna City provided views of Earth rising above the lunar horizon, a blue marble hanging in the darkness. Captain Sue stood at the observation window, watching his homeworld. Beside him was High Commander Du, once an enemy, now a cautious ally. "Your world is beautiful," Du said. "I understand better now why you fought so fiercely to protect it." Sue nodded. "Every species feels the same about their homeworld. That's something we all share." "When we first encountered humans, we thought you primitive," Du admitted. "We believed technological advancement was the only measure of civilization." "And now?" Sue asked. "Now I see that true advancement includes knowing when not to use your power," Du replied. "Your ship could have destroyed our fleet. Instead, you disabled it. You showed strength and restraint simultaneously." Sue watched Earth slowly rise higher above the lunar surface. "We never wanted to inspire fear," he reflected. "But sometimes fear is the beginning of wisdom. It makes us reassess what we thought we knew." Across the galaxy, the relationship between humans and other species continued to evolve. What had begun in violence had transformed into an uneasy peace, then genuine cooperation. Earth's universities now hosted thousands of alien students. Human experts traveled to distant worlds, sharing knowledge and gaining new insights. Young Officer Jin, now promoted to captain, led the first joint mission beyond Council space, a team of humans and aliens exploring uncharted regions together. Her ship, smaller than the Nemesis but incorporating both human and alien technologies, represented the future they were building. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Humanity was here to stay, formidable in war, but ultimately seeking friendship among the stars. And the stars, after initial hesitation, had welcomed them. On the bridge of the Nemesis, now bearing the markings of the Joint Peacekeeping Force, Captain Sue looked at his diverse crew. Where once only humans had stood, now beings of many forms worked together. The ship that had been built for war now served peace. "Captain," said his new first officer, a being from the collective minds, "the Council has requested our assistance with diplomatic negotiations in the Outer Rim." Sue nodded. "Set course. Let's show the galaxy what we can achieve together." The Nemesis turned gracefully, its engines glowing with power, and accelerated toward the stars. No longer a lone human vessel, but a symbol of what was possible when fear gave way to understanding.